What's up? Brandon Lilly here. Today I'm going to be taking the time to talk to you guys about something that I think is severely lacking in this modern era of powerlifting. We've had this explosion of training programs and methodologies and all that kind of stuff that kind of causes muddy waters, for some of the lifters that are out there. And I think this needs to be said. I have the cube method. I absolutely advocate the cube method and think that it's a fantastic method for any caliber of lifter, beginner to advanced. But that doesn't mean that I'm dogmatic about it. I'm intelligent enough to know that other programs work, and other programs work very, very well. We all know that. It's ridiculous to think that one is far superior to the next. If any kind of methodology has been out there for, I would say more than a few years, it's starting to stand the test of time. If guys are getting good results on it, you cannot argue with those results. Whether it's an individual or it's 5,000 individuals, if that methodology works for someone, it works. But here's what I want to point out to you. In my training career, we're talking about 17, 18 years now of strict training with dedication towards, getting on a platform or getting on a stage. And of all the people that I've ever met, there's no one program that, is just this magic bullet. So many guys, everybody's done West Side, everybody's done a 5-3-1 or a 5x5 or, a Bulgarian type split or whatever it might be. And we've all gotten better. And what it really amounts to for most lifters as they get better and they get better and they get better, they don't necessarily adhere strictly to one strict methodology. Like even myself, I stick to the principles of the cube, which is I have a heavy day, a rep day, and a light day, and I rotate those days accordingly. But going into the gym, it's very, very instinctual. It's very, very much by feel. So the number one thing that I'm getting at you guys that is missing is proper goal setting. When you ask somebody, what do you want to do? Well, I want to get stronger. What do you want to do? I want to work harder. That's not the right kind of goals I'm talking about. You need to have clear, dedicated goals set to what you're wishing to attain. When I started out squatting with Jake Anderson, he's at Westside now, and when we were coming up through the ranks to get to Westside together, I had a 750-pound squat. Many of you have probably heard me tell the story about sitting down to breakfast with Louie and me feeling all big-chested and puffed up about my 750-pound squat. And he says, you know what? And this was in multiply. He says, you know what? I have a 180-pound woman, Laura Phelps, that squats 750. That's not going to cut it for a 275-pound man. So that day, I went out and I set long-term goals. I wanted to squat 1,000 pounds. I wanted to bench 800, and I wanted to deadlift 800. 2,600 pounds was the long-term goal. And knowing that I had short-term goals to fill that gap. So my next meet was, I wanted to go 800. I think I'd bench 600, so I wanted to bench like 625, and I wanted to pull 725 at my next meet. But whatever it was, I had clearly defined goals, and I worked my percentages, I worked my training, I worked my accessory days, all towards those short-term goals, all of the while in the back of my mind, keeping my eyes focused on those long-term goals. I want to lose weight. Okay, that's a great goal. But if you're not clearly defining what your goals are, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 5% body fat, you're not ever going to get into a dedicated system or a dedicated regimen to allow that to happen. And that's really all a program fulfills, is goal setting. Whatever your goal is, you need to adapt your program to that. I can kick you a really good program that's going to be fun in the gym, it's going to be hard, and it's going to be taxing, but it may be totally counterproductive to what you're doing, but it's a good program. So you need to be aware of what you want, clearly define it, write it down to the minutia of what your goals are, and then build the program around that. It may not be Westside if you're a long-time Westside trainer. It may not be the cube method if you're a long-time cube method trainer, or it may not be 5-3-1. There will be adaptations that you will have to make to allow yourself to hit that goal properly, and that's okay. You can always come back. But the problem that any lifter will face in goal setting is if they stay dogmatic. If you are unwilling to change, you will never ever become the best that you could possibly be, and that's on you. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Talk to you guys later.